Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing vintage transfers and they are these adorable kitty cats, and I want you guys to let me know if you think it was a fail or not. I'm using vintage transfers, and so sometimes they don't always come out the way you expect. So I have this 100% cotton towel, kitchen towel, and I'm going to put a piece of felt. I opened it up. I'm going to put a piece of felt underneath just to absorb the heat. I'm going to be using a Cricut, the little handheld Cricut heat transfer iron to put these on. So I'm just lining it up so that I have good coverage of where I'm going to put my transfer, and then I'm just heating up the area that I'm going to lay down the transfer on and kind of ironing out some of those creases in the towel. So here are the transfers. They're by Bogart. These are from the 50s, so they're pretty old. I have used these once before on a towel, and they came out well, but it does say you can reuse them. So I held on to them, and I've been meaning to bring them back out again, and I finally brought them back out. So these are not meant to be like, you'll see some of those ones that are iron-on that you would get the pattern on and then you would embroider over them. This is not the case. This is meant to just apply this image onto whatever it is you want to transfer it onto, and that's it. So I'm lining this up here. I'm cutting them out individually so I can space them out how I want. The last time I did this, I kind of left them arranged as they came, but this time I decided to just cut them up and place them where I wanted them to be. One side is textured where the ink is, and then the other side is smooth. So you want the texture side down because that's what's going to transfer onto your fabric. So you're supposed to be able to put these on pretty much anything that's fabric. And they're supposed to be reusable. However, given that these are very old, I think for what I did get out of these, and for this being a second time using them, I think that it was probably about as good as it was going to get. So just fair warning, in my eyes, it's kind of a fail, but also adds to the look, just makes it that like it was made 50 years ago. So I've laid it out on the first transfer, and what I didn't do here is I didn't heat my fabric back up again before I laid the image down, which I think makes a difference on how well it transfers. So you heat it up, and then once it feels easy to pull away, it means it's ready to go. If you feel resistance, you need to add more heat, and then try pulling it back up again. So again, I put my transfer down before heating up my fabric again. So you can see on the left how the image is pretty faded, not a lot of it transferred. So now here, I finally remembered to heat up the fabric before laying the transfer down, and I think it did make a big difference. However, it still kind of failed on me because the paper shifted, and so I got a kind of a ghosting on there. So this is how the towel ended up turning out overall. I kind of added some little yarn pieces. I don't totally hate it, but I don't love it either. In fact, I think what I'm gonna do is actually tea stain this to give it more age and just give it that old faded towel, like grandma used it for years and years in her kitchen and someone's finding this towel. So I think that's how I'll add character. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if anyone wants this for sale, let me know and I will list it in probably my Etsy store. But make sure to give me a follow, especially on Whatnot. I'm going to be selling there this week. See you guys soon.